What is the power play of floor plans in marketing to guests? In other words, like, what's the point?
So the power play here is guest experience. Everybody wants the guest to have a good experience start to finish, but I don't know if everybody realizes the experience actually starts online. so, so from the very, very beginning, we want the guest to have a good experience. We want them to understand what they're looking at, what they're getting, so that the entire experience the whole way through is consistent and meets expectations.
And so with the kind of guest experience in mind, then I'm thinking about something like Touch Day. You could embed the floor plan inside your Touch Day guidebook. And so I'm thinking there, it's kind of, you've talked about the experience starting when someone first finds you, but that floor plan, I guess, comes really into its own when the trip has been booked and now you're starting to plan your stay.
Yeah, and a lot of people have a long time before they actually stay there, and sometimes people forget, right, what the property looked like, or if you weren't the one doing all the research, then you're like, what does that look like again? So having that reminder right before you show up is really good because it re-familiarizes you with the property. It gets you excited about going to the property. But I would say most importantly, it prevents fighting. so so you want to drive that guest experience, with touch stay, and you want everything to be really positive, and we want everyone to have a good time. And that's really hard when you show up to a property and people start fighting over the rooms. It's not good to start out any experience with a fight. So we prevent fights. We share that link out. Everybody can claim their room. You could even, mark your initials on it that room's yours. That way, when you get to the property, you don't have the fighting that ensues as soon as you arrive. Everybody has the expectation of like, okay, well, I already know that that's a bunk bed on the first floor, so that's where the kids are going. So that way it continues that whole guest experience to be positive, proactive, and everybody's happy.
Yeah, I think it's an amazing point. It's something that as a family with two kids, well, two teenagers now, I know exactly what that's like. You don't want to arrive and then like everyone run into the biggest room and go, "That's mine." No, it's not. Yes, it is. No, and actually big groups as well. When I've been away on university reunions and staying in big houses, that's amazing to be able to run through the different rooms and know, oh, like that's useful for this couple because they've got a teenager, and this one because they've got a young baby. So I think that's really, really, really neat idea. Okay. But that's kind of the guest experience after they've booked. I mean, how could people use floor plans sort of up front before booking? Like, can they use it in their OTA listings or in their websites?
So you can use it on your website, not in the OTAs as of now, but at least not in an interactive format. You can use it as a JPEG photo image. On the website, however, we've learned it keeps them on the website for 3 to 10 minutes.
Wow.
So that's fantastic
Yeah.
for SEO. And they're super engaged. So it really helps connect the right guest with the right property.
Yeah, I think that's interesting. I mean, I think the SEO point's great, but I think it's interesting that a floor plan really is being used. If you're seeing it for 3 to 10 minutes, it means that someone is there on your website, like looking around. So in other words, it proves useful. And I think as well, like when you're planning your stay and you jump onto Airbnb or Vrbo or something, that's great. But if you find a website that with the person you're staying with, you can actually really look around the property and decide whether it's for you. That's so much more powerful. So fantastic. Okay, good. But the question is, how on earth does this floor plan get done? Like, what is the process? Do you need to like send tons of photographers and videographers to my home to do it?
So there are a couple different ways we can do it. Anywhere in the world, we can do what we call a self-serve version of this product. So most people have a floor plan, and some people have a local photographer they use, and that's fine. They can send us both that static floor plan and their photos, and we can stitch them together so that you can use it as an interactive visual. No problem. It can be located anywhere. We do ask that the photos are taken, like you said, from different angles, within the room if possible, but we're happy to stitch that together. And it's rather low cost. I think it's just over $100 per property at the outset to get one of those self-serve products. And then there's a small monthly fee I think it's like $5 a month. So it's very low cost for anyone anywhere to use. If you are in one of the areas that we cover, we can send our photographers out to capture both the floor plan and the photos. And we have a map on our website, trueplace.com, so you can see those areas.